Now at 9, Reed Orchards is letting families pick fresh apples, pears, and pecans right off the tree. We'll tell you more. Plus, the Pittsburgh Fire Department is hosting a free open house, and a South St. Louis man fights for his life after a crash with an off-duty police officer.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Anthony Saviello. A local orchard is in the thick of the harvesting season. KOAM's Mitch Adams has more.
As the seasons change, the harvest season becomes lucrative for local growers. Reed Orchards is offering apples, pears, and pecans right off the tree.
These we let people pick their own. A lot of families come, a lot of homeschool groups. I had the Pittsburgh first grade classes yesterday, so a lot of people like to pick their own apples.
The orchard serves as a place to buy fresh produce, but also as a place to be educated about your food.
And a lot of people will, after they've come here and picked apples, will only eat apples from here, the Enterprise or the Gold Rush or some of the other ones that we grow. So yeah, that is definitely the best part, and kids have a great time picking the apples, so it's fun for them.
Reporting in Labette County, Kansas, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
According to Dr. Reed, the orchard is more than just a business. It's her and her husband's calling. Well, today the Pittsburgh Fire Department opened its doors for a community open house at the Fire Station 1. Families enjoyed fun activities, a live fire demonstration, and got to meet the firefighters who serve their community. Officials say that fire safety was the focus of today as they talk about ways to stay safe, especially making sure that your alarms are up to date. Kids are taught to never hide indoors, just like in school safety programs.
The plan is the most important part, so you know where everyone can meet at, so you can make sure everyone got out of the house. Knowing what to do when there is smoke alarms going off. Don't go out and hide. Try not to tell your kids to go inside and hide, but just almost like you do a school program. They're taught to go outside.
Let's go ahead and check in with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney for a first look at weather.
Well, we do have some rain chances, luckily for us. I know we've had some dry couple of days to couple of weeks. Now, isolated storm chances start early afternoon. This is going to be a brief window, 1 to about 3 p.m. We're really not seeing much. Some isolated storms moving in from Arkansas, maybe making it to the Joplin area. Our next chance of rain is going to be later in the evening. We're going to have a little bit higher of a chance of more widespread rain. Very light showers and sprinkles, and that's going to be moving in from central Kansas over to southeastern Kansas, and then it tapers off just after noon, and we're back to a couple of dry days. Now, not seeing a lot going on in our area right now. We get a few clouds overnight tonight and through most of the day tomorrow. Again, during the day we could see some isolated showers after 1 p.m. The rest of the rain isn't moving in until late Monday evening and Tuesday, but I'm going to have all those details coming up.
Lindsay, thanks. A Missouri family is demanding answers after a devastating crash, possibly involving an off-duty St. Louis police officer, and now he's in critical condition fighting for his life. As Justina Coronel reports, many questions still remain unanswered.
Caution tape still lingers in South St. Louis. Yellow reminders of what happened here.
It's devastating. You never wish bad things on good people.
Police first said after midnight a truck driver was driving south on Morgan Ford with a green light and made a left on River to Pear. At the same time, a scooter was riding north when the crash happened. But we only learned this through a tipster, that the truck driver was an off-duty officer who's not hurt. Now we've asked police multiple questions who remain tight-lipped. We asked, is the officer on leave? Will there be any charges or citations issued? And will they share any surveillance footage or body camera footage from the responding officers? As for the scooter driver, 49-year-old Gabriel Rodriguez is fighting for his life. Families say Rodriguez was leaving second shift and heading home from work.
He's bubbly. He has a bubbly personality. He's always smiling. I never really see him upset.
His coworker, who's staying anonymous, saw Rodriguez the day of the crash.
He's just overall, he's a good guy. He's always willing to help. It's taken an emotional toll on a lot of us.
Family acknowledges his commitment and care, his coworker even knowing his love for his mom.
I know that he does take care of his mother.
After his dad died, Rodriguez tends to his sick mother. But now, Rodriguez is in the hospital with an amputated foot and medical staff reviving him twice during multiple surgeries.
Just that we're wishing for the best.
Still ahead on KOAM News at 9, how taking a break from alcohol for just 30 days can make a big difference for your health. It's a month-long challenge to abstain from drinking alcohol. Sober October is a global movement that allows people to see what a sober life looks like. But what can 1 month of not drinking do for a person? In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither explains the benefits and has tips on how to have a successful cocktail-free month.
October may mean pumpkins and colorful leaves, but for some, it also kicks off a month-long challenge to stay sober.
Abstaining from alcohol for even a short period of time can really make a big difference when it comes to our health.
Registered dietitian Sarah Ream with Orlando Health says alcohol puts a strain on the body and those cocktails can have consequences.
It can increase our risk for cancer. It can increase symptoms of anxiety, depression, even learning problems. And long-term alcohol use can really increase our risk for things like heart disease, hypertension, which is high blood pressure.
Whether you're sober curious and plan to cut back or want to kick your drinking habit altogether, Ream says to set yourself up for success by planning ahead. If you're used to having a drink after work or out with friends, it's helpful to still have something in your hand.
Still have a beverage, but maybe that's a sparkling water or a non-alcoholic alternative to our favorite beverage.
Next, Ream says to still maintain the integrity of the habit, use a wine glass or beer tumbler you're used to using with the non-alcoholic drink. And finally, let your friends and family know what you're doing.
Even getting a buddy to do it with you. That way you have somebody that is there supporting you, kind of going through this journey with you.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The dietitian says that if abstaining completely from alcohol for a month is daunting, making a conscious effort to cut back on cocktails can also allow your body and mind to reap some benefits. A new KFF poll shows nearly 80% of Americans support extending Enhanced Affordable Care Act premium subsidies. That includes 92% of Democrats, 82% of independents, and even majorities of Republicans and MAGA supporters. Democrats want the renewal included in the next federal spending bill, but Republicans are pushing for a clean version without it. KFF researchers warn that if the subsidies expire, Obamacare premiums could more than double next year. Hope is on the horizon for patients struggling with depression. It's a cutting-edge treatment known as SAINT therapy. It's now being offered at the University of Iowa. The doctor spearheading the program tells Lauren Avenatti it's revolutionary for patients who haven't responded to traditional treatments.
SAINT stands for Stanford Accelerated Intelligent Neuromodulation Therapy. It's a rapid-acting, relatively new treatment for major depressive disorder and treatment-resistant or treatment-refractory depression.
This therapy uses brain scans to identify the areas affected by depression and then sends precise magnetic pulses to help those areas function better.
We think now depression is probably a network illness, meaning it's not affecting just one part of the brain, but a whole network of interconnected regions. And this functional MRI technique allows us to identify those networks in a personalized and reliable way for each patient, and then deliver transcranial magnetic stimulation to that region with MRI guidance in the treatment rooms.
SAINT stands out from traditional transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS, because it works faster and with more intensity. Early research shows that 80 to 90% of patients experience remission within a month of completing treatment.
You compare that to other medications and to TMS, that's a much higher remission rate than we typically see. What's really exciting about this is that for at least a subset of patients, it seems to work very well and it works very fast.
Patients experience relief from symptoms like low energy, mood swings, hopelessness, and inability to find pleasure in daily activities, sometimes within just a few days.
Symptoms are almost completely, if not completely gone in that group of patients.
While SAINT is still being studied, researchers hope it could expand to other conditions.
There's still a lot to learn about the treatment. We know, again, it works very well for at least a subset of patients. I think this is really going to revolutionize the way we think about treating psychiatric conditions and trying to get relief as fast as possible.
Lindsay is next with a complete look at the forecast, and later, local food pantries are bracing for impact and why a government shutdown could leave more families turning to them for help.
We've had some pretty mild nights. We can go ahead and take a look at our forecast for later on tonight. Temperatures only getting down as low as the mid 60s, so we do have some pretty warm temperatures still tonight, well above average, about 10 degrees above average. Now, our next chance of rain, we start to see some isolated chances of rain there after about 2 p.m. Dies down quickly, and then after late tonight, late tomorrow night, excuse me, we're going to see a little bit more chances of rain along a front that's going to be moving in. That front's going to drop our temperatures back down to average, so we're going to be going from mid 80s to mid 70s there Tuesday and on Wednesday. Overall, it is going to be a nice couple of days. Once we get past the rain chances Tuesday morning, we finally get to enjoy some more seasonable temperatures. Now, no rain tonight or really even clouds. Taking a look at downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. We have another nice mild night tonight for us. Not much going on in our area, but again, we're watching as this front starts to push into central Kansas. It's a part of a low pressure system a little bit further north of us. Doesn't quite make it into our area. It's going to be a dying complex by the time we get to see some rain chances, and that's going to be again late Monday night. But there you can see storms firing up along that front out near Hayes, just going to be north of Wichita. So these are just developing in that area. This front retreats and then doesn't really move into the area until we get into Monday evening. So here we are by early afternoon. We've got these isolated shower chances again along I-44 and south. Most of this is moving in from the Gulf, so it's going to be moving in from Arkansas. May make it into the Joplin area. Mostly a lot of these showers staying south of I-44 and east of I-49, and then pushing out towards Kansas. We're watching this front develop and some showers developing along it. Not much happens for the later afternoon hours. We do get a few clouds as the front pushes in, and then later in the evening and into early Tuesday morning, behind the front, we get some elevated showers, not producing a ton of rainfall, but that's going to be good for us. We finally get to see some rain chances. Dies down as it moves into southeastern Kansas and even into the Missouri side, but we get a few showers that lead to maybe 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch of rain, especially out there in southeastern Kansas, Sedan, Howard, Fredonia, Yates Center, maybe all the way to Parsons, Coffeyville. Not producing a ton of accumulation though. We're going to want to watch out for that. Now, that's what we're tracking Monday night and into Tuesday morning, very light showers. We get those cooler temperatures thanks to that front starting on Tuesday, lasting until about Thursday. We warm up later into the weekend, but we get more chances of rain Thursday night and into Friday morning. Finally, taking a further look ahead, wanted to point this out, significantly cooler temperatures and our first frost estimated to be around October 21st. So we do have something to look forward to once we make it past these next couple of weeks, where we'll see definitely above average temperatures. A couple of days there again this week, and even a couple of days next week where we'll be more seasonable temperatures. Sure. But not seeing consistently cooler temps there until late October.
I think you should change that to where
I would love to. That's my goal in life.
Meteorologists have controlled the weather this entire time, and
if that was the case, you know, I'd have these fall temperatures like that.
I don't know if I believe you.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Lindsay. Coming up, protests turned chaotic in Chicago. What led to the arrest of a city leader and how the White House is responding to growing unrest across multiple cities. While Washington, D.C. is battling with the current government shutdown, the ripple effect is being felt nationwide. That includes Iowa, where some food pantries are struggling to help those in need. Marcus McIntosh reports.
We'll definitely see an uptick in the number of families that are coming to receive services.
Patty Snedenkisting is the CEO of the Urbandale Food Pantry. She held out hope a shutdown could be avoided, all while preparing for the worst.
We typically try to increase our food orders, cross-check inventories, bring on more products, source more food, just to make sure we have enough available to meet the need of the community and the families that are coming to see us.
Broadlawn's WIC is on site at the Urbandale Food Pantry every Wednesday. Snedenkisting says it hasn't seen an uptick yet, but admits it's early in the shutdown.
I can tell you from what I see, they still have a full schedule.
The Families Forward Bidwell Pantry is on the city's south side. The pantry manager says the shutdown makes the need for what they do even greater.
We already see an increase in people with cost of food going up.
Kiana Hines tells us the pantry was already seeing more people through the doors before the shutdown. She's worried what could happen if it stretches on.
It's going to impact a lot of people, again, especially with the SNAP benefits. The SNAP benefits are already not enough to meet the needs of most of our pantry guests.
WIC has come to this pantry to sign up people eligible for its services and even donates formula to the pantry.
We give out for free to our pantry guests, so if that program is not functioning, we won't have those donations of formula that we can give out to the people who need it as well.
The Iowa Department of Health and Human Services says it's taking extraordinary measures to fund the WIC program, which provides food for women, infants, and children. Cracker Barrel has cut ties with the San Francisco design firm behind its failed logo change. The company hired Profit just 7 months ago to refresh its brand, removing the iconic man in overalls and barrel from its logo. After strong online backlash, including from President Donald Trump, Cracker Barrel quickly reverted to its original design. The firm was also behind plans to modernize restaurants with white walls and new decor, a project now scrapped after trial runs at 4 different locations. Apple has removed several tracking apps that alert users about immigration and customs enforcement sightings in the area, or in their area. The decision came after a request from the Department of Justice. In a statement, Apple said it took down the apps, including one called Ice Block, after communication with law enforcement saying they violated App Store guidelines. The Trump administration has argued the apps pose a threat to ICE agents, a claim the app's creator describes as patently false. Up next, celebrate National Bookshop Day. A chance for book lovers to discover new reads and support local bookstores countrywide. Today brings an occasion for all you proud bookworms out there. It's National Bookshop Day. The celebration started across the pond in England. It's a time to kick off the fall book-selling season and the release of new books ahead of the holidays. It's also a good day for bookshop owners to host parties, book signings, and other events at their stores. Upwards of 1,000 bookshops nationwide participate in Bookshop Day. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Coming up, with WIC funding at risk. If the government shutdown continues, families face an uncertain future for essential nutrition.
You're watching the 4 states' most watched news.
The U.S. government shutdown isn't the only big news brewing in Washington, D.C., citing ongoing arrests and unrest. Officials in the Trump administration say federal troops are coming to the Democratic-led cities of Chicago and Portland, Oregon. John Lawrence reports.
Tensions are swirling around the Windy City. On Friday, the same day Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem made a visit to the Immigration and Customs Enforcement facility near Chicago,
You are going to be placed under arrest.
Chicago alderperson Jesse Fuentes was taken into custody by ICE agents at an area hospital while demanding to see a warrant for an injured man.
This is not the first incident, you all. What ICE is doing is exercising violence, physical violence on the people of Chicago.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson called Fuentes' detainment a, quote, attempt to stoke fear and intimidation. She was later released, but a Homeland Security statement said nearly 30 protesters had tried to break into the area where the detainee was being treated. And Chicago isn't the only city the Trump administration is focusing on.
The president has directed Secretary Hegseth to provide all necessary troops to protect war-ravaged Portland and any ICE facilities under siege from attack by Antifa and other left-wing domestic terrorists.
President Donald Trump is also considering an end to providing financial assistance to Oregon's largest city.
He has directed his team here at the White House to begin reviewing aid that can potentially be cut in Portland. We will not fund states that allow anarchy. There will also be an additional surge of federal resources to Portland immediately.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The city and the state of Oregon together have sued the administration. A federal judge temporarily blocked the Trump administration from deploying the National Guard into Portland. The nation's largest federal employee union is suing the Department of Education. The American Federation of Government Employees filed the lawsuit Friday, arguing the department violated employees' First Amendment rights. The dispute is over automatic out-of-office email messages sent from furloughed workers' accounts without their consent. These messages blamed Democrats for the government shutdown. The lawsuit asks the court to block the Education Department from continuing the practice. Pope Leo is calling out the rise of, quote, anti-Semitic hatred in the world. In a prayer devotional Sunday, the Pope referenced last week's synagogue attack in Manchester, England. Leo also said that he continues to be saddened by the suffering of Palestinian people in Gaza. Leo, the first American pope, acknowledged that some significant steps have been taken in ceasefire negotiations. He said he hoped those talks would achieve the desired results as soon as possible. Millions of people who rely on food stamps and family aid through federal programs could be at risk of losing assistance during the government shutdown. That's because funding was cut off on September 30th. As Jen Sullivan reports, these crucial programs are now relying on reserve funds until the government passes a new spending plan.
This is baby Zave. He's now 1.5 and thriving. But his mom, Ashley Vasquez, says that wasn't always the case.
He just didn't have an appetite and he wasn't putting on weight.
Zave was put on special nutritional drinks that his family received through WIC, federal funded program for women, infants, and children. It provides aid to more than 6 million low-income families to help cover expenses for food, breastfeeding support, and health education. But that money could soon be at risk if the government shutdown continues.
For really young children whose sole source of nutrition may be infant formula, the loss of WIC would be absolutely devastating because their families don't have other options.
Nell Menifee-Leiby with the National WIC Association says if the government doesn't pass a spending bill within the next 2 weeks, funding will likely run out.
That really puts us in a crisis point very quickly.
Funding for other assistance programs like the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program known as SNAP could also be at risk. Roughly 42 million people depend on SNAP to help cover groceries. October's benefits were already sent out, but come November 1st, it's unclear whether people will receive assistance as politicians continue to debate.
Republicans refuse to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credit.
This is not about health care. This is about Democrats wanting to show their progressive left base that they are fighting against Donald Trump.
Meanwhile, it leaves vulnerable parents like Ashley Vasquez unsure how they're going to pay for their families. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Later, from one man's vision to a full-blown holiday adventure, an Army veteran builds a pirate ship that's creating memories for his community.
We've had some pretty warm nights, and we can go ahead and take a look at our night planner tonight. Temperatures dropping down to the mid-60s yet again. We do have mostly clear skies tonight, but unfortunately it does come to an end. We get some rain chances as we head through the next 24 hours. Isolated storms start there after about 2 p.m. We have a brief window to see some isolated showers, not looking at very heavy amounts of rainfall or even very strong storms. These will drop off, and then we also have some more showers moving into southeastern Kansas later in the evening and into early Tuesday morning. That's along a front, which means that temperatures are going to drop from mid-80s on Monday to mid-70s Tuesday and Wednesday. Finally getting into some more seasonable temperatures. I mean, we started October off well above average. Now again, tonight we're looking pretty great. We've got a nice clear evening. Temperatures still above average in the mid-60s, but overall pretty calm night. Not much going on. We are watching a low pressure system that's bringing our rain chances as we move through Monday. Now this low is already producing thunderstorm chances out there in central Kansas, all the way up to Iowa, even up to Wisconsin. So we're seeing even some severe weather, some strong, severe thunderstorms. All of these typically right now are just going to be sitting over the same area. They're going to start to die down once we get into later this evening and all of that surface heating drops off. Really nothing to keep those storms going. They'll move into our area closer to about 2 p.m., at least in our northeastern counties out near Yates Center. But before line of storms actually moves into the area, we're going to see a couple of isolated showers along I-44 and south, and then along I-49 and east. So this is mostly going to stay on the Missouri and Arkansas side, maybe getting into Oklahoma there a little while. But for the most part, staying dry there afternoon on the Kansas side. This is now 10:30. We have our front already pushing through and some storms developing behind the front. It's going to bring some rain chances to the area, but because they're elevated storms, we're not looking at a severe threat. But we will get some rain showers mostly in our northern counties, moving into southeastern Kansas, but they die down pretty quickly. And then out near Nevada into Stockton could see some more showers as well. Not looking at a lot of accumulation from this. With the earlier afternoon showers, really no accumulation whatsoever. And then the elevated showers and thunderstorms, we're looking at 1/10 of an inch to maybe about 1/4 of an inch of rain. Now, what we're tracking, okay, again, Monday night into Tuesday morning, some light showers, maybe even some drizzle. And then we get those cooler temperatures because of that front starting on Tuesday. Now, once we continue to move through the rest of the week, temperatures warm back up. We have another round of isolated showers there Thursday night and into Friday morning, similar to what we're going to see Monday and Tuesday. And then our next chance of consistent cooler temperatures, not starting until late October, so we could see our first frost around October 21st to the 22nd. So we do have still a bit of a time before we start to see temperatures overnight dropping down near freezing and highs only in the 60s and 70s. But we do have some, I would say, mild temperatures there sprinkled in. I mean, mid-70s this week, back to the 80s over the weekend, and then again, upper 70s next week. So can't complain.
Yeah, it's just not that fall weather we're looking for, though.
No, but like I said, there 18th to the 21st, we're starting to see cooler temperatures. 21st onward, we're going to see very, very seasonable temperatures.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Lindsay. Coming up, Pitt State and Missouri Southern Soccer have MIAA matchups. Plus, we take a look at the action from around the AFC West ahead of the Chiefs Monday night matchup. Ben McLeish has those stories and more up next in sports.
Pitt State and Missouri Southern Soccer are back on the pitch today for some MIAA matchups. The Gorillas looking for their 3rd straight win, facing the Riverhawks. PSU scores early but looks to add more. Ella Kazavillian passes out wide to Abby Hoffman. She fires a shot on goal, but it's deflected by the keeper. Kazavillian collects it, dribbles into space, and has her own look at the net. But that's wide. Gorillas still attacking. Shayla Hunt beats the defender and crosses it into the box. Kazavillian has another look, but it sails over the net. PSU dominating time of possession. They have a free kick in Riverhawk territory. Mia Hunt fires it at the net, but it's too high. 1 goal, though, is all the Gorillas need. Kazavillian's score in the 10th minute is the difference in the 1-0 PSU victory. But the Lions can't get it done against the Hillcats, losing 2-0. And MSSU is still searching for its first divisional win. It's another football Sunday, but you'll have to wait one more day for the Kansas City Chiefs. So let's take a look around the AFC West, where the Raiders, Broncos, and Chargers have matchups. We'll start in Indianapolis. where the Raiders take on the Colts. This one got ugly early. Raiders down 26-3 in the third. Geno Smith's pass is picked off by Mekhi Blackman. Blackman runs it back for the pick six. Raiders fall to 1-4 after the 40-6 loss. Let's head to Philadelphia. The Broncos trailed the Eagles by 2 touchdowns in the fourth. Denver at the goal line. J.K. Dobbins runs it in for the TD. It's a one-score game, and the Broncos are threatening again. Bo Nix drops back and connects with his tight end, Evan Ingram, who sheds a tackle and takes it into the end zone. Broncos go for 2 and convert. They lead by 4 in the final seconds. Eagles need a miracle. Jalen Hurts with the Hail Mary, but it falls incomplete, and the Broncos pull off the upset against undefeated Philadelphia. Chargers host the 2-2 Commanders, up by 10, but Washington's in the red zone. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt with the carry finds the edge and puts the Commanders on the board. Washington ties it up and looks to add more. Krosky-Merritt with the identical looking play, and Washington takes the lead. The Commanders are going to escape LA with the win, and the Chargers drop their second straight game to an NFC East opponent. Well, just 3 weeks ago, the Chiefs were in last place in the division, 2 games behind the then first place Chargers. Now Kansas City can match the 3-2 record of the Broncos and Chargers tomorrow night. They head into Everbank Stadium for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Chiefs have won 8 in a row against the Jags. Their last loss came in 2009. All right, Anthony, in 2009, I was 6 years old. The Black Eyed Peas were the next best thing.
Yeah.
And the Pittsburgh Steelers were coming off their record 6 Super Bowl win. So it's been a long time. Do you think that the Jaguars have got a chance tomorrow?
Listen, even if they don't, I'm rooting for the Jaguars on this one. And I'm sorry to all my Chiefs fans out there. I'm not a Chiefs fan. And the simple fact of the matter is the Jags look good this year. The Chiefs aren't. I just don't think they're the same Chiefs teams. I think luck is playing a big factor. Xavier Worthy's back. I don't know. I don't think the Chiefs are all that, and I think things are going to go their way. Simple fact of the matter is, will they get to the playoffs? I think so. I think they're in a really bad spot when they go against some good teams in the playoffs. But that's just my opinion, so they'll have to prove me wrong, I think. Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, the Jaguars are 3-1 this year. Their only loss came to a last-minute touchdown to the Bengals. So they're a lot better than people expected. Trevor Lawrence is still a pretty good quarterback. It's going to be a tough team. The Chiefs coming off back-to-back wins, though. They look much better than they did the first 2 weeks. So it should be a good matchup. If you remember, a couple of years ago, 2 matchups ago, they met in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And everybody thought the Chiefs were going to roll over the Jaguars, but the Jaguars held their own. They only lost by 1 touchdown. That was a great game. The Chiefs ended up winning the Super Bowl that year.
So we'll have to see if the Jags can put up a good fight again, for sure. We'll be right back. A combat veteran in Clarksville, Tennessee is finding his sea legs in retirement. He recently landed a full-size pirate ship, but it didn't get there by water. He built it by hand as a Halloween display in his front yard. Eric Pointer has more.
It started one piece of wood at a time.
I didn't know how to build a ship. I just went at it little by little and went for it.
Army combat veteran Bionado Puerta didn't have a treasure map, but he did have a vision.
I just see cool stuff and then, and just start building.
A few years ago, he dressed as Jack Sparrow from the Pirates of the Caribbean for Halloween. When a trick-or-treater asked him where his ship was, he decided to make one.
We would love to have people help us build it, but he himself doesn't know how to do it until he's actually doing it.
He and his partner Jennifer Pierce created handmade holidays on Raven, steering the community towards making memories.
We made it important to have something where when they pull up, it's that wow factor, and they will never forget it.
It started with a Christmas display, and now it's all hands on deck for Halloween. Creating memories, Bionado says, are better than buried treasure.
I'm not supposed to be here,
While serving in Afghanistan, he nearly died 3 different times.
As a vet, sorry. It's important because time is precious. And in a moment notice, you're not here.
But while he is here, he wants to make the most of it.
So I'm trying to make a difference by, giving as much as I can with what I got. And what I got is my hands, and I could build stuff.
No, we're not Disney, but I think it looks pretty cool for just being a retired combat veteran and a stay-at-home mom.
Helping families set sail into an experience to last a lifetime and beyond.
Up next, this Northern California club is on a quest for the perfect burger, and it's about a lot more than just the beef. When it comes to finding the perfect burger, some people take their search more seriously than others. A group of dads is turning burger tasting into a community tradition. Italy Hod gives us the details.
Once a month, a bus full of dads makes its way through the winding country roads of Northern California, driven by a single obsession.
Gentlemen, get your jackets. We're starting to walk up there.
Finding the perfect burger.
3 6/8.
Yair Levine is one of the founders of the Marin Burger Club, a group that bills itself as the most data-driven burger association in the world.
More than anything, it's a silly topic that we take very, very seriously. Here's our house, Dillon Burger.
This time, they're checking out Coastal Kitchen, a restaurant in Dillon Beach, where Chef Zachary Yegas is serving up his famous Quarter Pounder.
We have sauteed mushroom onion with garlic, crispy bacon on top, and then we're just cooking it to perfection.
In the last 12 years, they've tasted more than 1,500 burgers. But tonight, they're trying to break the world record for the biggest burger evaluation in history. 54 dads measuring everything from the patty to the fries using a patented tool they call the Burger Majigger.
What I like to do is kind of squeeze that.
Jason Vanderbrand, tech exec by day, burger judge by night.
This is an exceptional burger.
Says this club isn't so much about the beef as it is about the bonding.
More than anything, we now know each other as a community, as a bunch of dads that are raising our children together.
They don't accept freebies or discounts. Everything here is paid in cash. Once the measuring is done, Jeff Mylan, the club's chief technology officer, crunches the numbers. A final score.
New top 10, 9th place!
And after all is said and done,
hot buns and fresh meat.
The only thing they take to go can't be boxed or bagged. It's the friendships they relish.
My blood pressure is on the rise.
That's been our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.